What's the biggest risk you took without telling anyone? I was 17 when I found out my dad's garage was about to go under. I overheard him on the phone with the bank, his voice shaking like I'd never heard before. Just 30 more days, he kept saying. Our family business of 20 years was about to disappear. Dad didn't tell us kids, though. He just came to dinner that night with red eyes, saying he was tired from work. Mom squeezed his hand under the table. I pretended not to notice. The next morning, I skipped school and snuck into his office. The bills were worse than I thought. We were $5,000 short on the mortgage for the garage. Dad had already sold his truck and emptied his savings. That afternoon, I walked into my high school counselor's office and withdrew my entire college fund, $6,200 that my grandparents had been adding to since I was born. My hands were sweating so bad I could barely sign the papers. I told the bank lady it was for a car, but she just smiled like she knew I was lying. My stomach felt like I'd swallowed rocks as I walked home with the envelope stuffed in my sock. That night, I slid the money into Dad's work jacket with a note saying, "Anonymous donor believes in Wilson's Auto." I figured he'd think it was from our church or something. For weeks, I panicked every time the mail came, expecting the college fund statement. When it finally arrived, I grabbed it before anyone saw and burned it in the backyard grill. Dad never found out. The business stayed open. And when college application time came, I told everyone I'd changed my mind about leaving home. Dad looked disappointed but said, "Sometimes the best education is right here in town." 2 years later, I'm taking night classes at community college while working at the garage during the day. Dad's teaching me everything about running the business. Last week, he said he's thinking of adding my name to the sign. I never told him about the money, but every time I see him laugh with a customer or teach some kid how to change their oil for free, I know that $6,200 was the best investment I'll ever make. Sometimes the biggest risks aren't the ones that change your life. They're the ones that let someone else keep theirs.